This is actually a really, really good lesson topic. Now teaching. Let's go. Boosh, 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 boosh. Now teaching. Intonation 101 slash hearing. This is probably scales 102 actually. Because scales is all about the sound of the scale, right? So scales 101 was the major scale. Scales 102 is scale patterns and how we make music out of those scale patterns. So intonation 101 is about this sound. And I'm sorry, if you don't like this sound, do not play any instrument that requires you to play in tune. So if you do not want to hang out with a tone generator, you should not play any brass instruments, you should not play any wind instruments, you should not play any fretless string instruments. This sound is your friend. This sound stops you having to worry. It allows you to just sink into the music. And I showed you very briefly when we were playing WoW, eh? I did it with my voice. I'll do it with a violin now. And this is good because this is my good intonation scale practice. Actually, Kalin Claudio, can you give me some violin tips? If I want to play an E major scale, how should I finger that? At the moment, oh dear, that's fine. At the moment, I'm kind of going between. I should. Beautiful pitch drone. This is your best, especially as a saxophone player, because a saxophone is effectively impossible to play in tune. You're always struggling. We kind of want to see the violin, right? Now I think that was in tune. Because I can only think that was in tune because I don't have anything to compare it to. I wasn't playing 2 notes at a time, and I wasn't playing to a tuning drone, so I can't know if it was in tune or not. There's no way. I can think all I want, but I can't know. By doing this, I can tell. Have a listen. those pitch drone videos are going to be my best man at my wedding. Lol, Starman. Now, this is a surefire way for me to lose loads of viewers because it's not a particularly interesting exercise. It's not particularly fun to watch. It doesn't sound particularly good, especially if you're listening to someone practice. However, it can be very, very, very meditative. And this is an absolutely, this is, if anything, the most important aspect of your practice on these kind of instruments. Because it doesn't matter how many notes you can play. It doesn't matter how spectacularly you can play them if they're not in tune. And it's not a subjective thing. It's not like, oh, someone thinks it's in tune, another person thinks it's not in tune. No. Tuning is maths. It's either in tune, it's either or not in tune. Can I post links? This is the software I'm talking about. I mean, yeah. I'm not entirely. This is what we're looking at. I mean, this is just, for me, this is just, yeah, I mean, it will tell you how your intonation is doing on different notes, right? But this can, I would take this only as a tool. So white is in tune, red is sharp, blue is flat. I mean, yeah, I would take this. This could be a snapshot of telling you where you might be having intonation issues. And I could completely understand how with certain, like with pieces where you might have sections that have a certain fingering, could tell you patterns. But as an aid to actually playing in tune, this is kind of a macro view. I think I value this as a macro view. But this has to be. This does not then tell you how to work on your tuning, right? It's really hard playing E major. I'm having a real hard time. So I'm going to move to a key I'm more comfortable with. I'm going to move to a B flat practice drone. And then James will check out your thing. So this is a B flat practice drone now. I'm going to turn it up a little bit as well. Definitely do that, Colin. So that's a lot of practice worth. I demand the next time we are sailing, I'll drive and you will sit close by and play that one. Anytime, Bouncer. This is what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to just play, when I was playing Atlas, my goal was to play violin in the top of the crow's nest. But then play stuff like this. Check, check. There we are. So there is a way, call in Claudio, because, wow, this sounds really good. Oh, thank you. I really love the sound of harmony. I love the sound of scales, and you can get very meditative on it, right? Talking about Atlas. Let's actually get another E drone. I'm going to play an E minor this time, and I'm going to play a jig. But there is a way, because one of the issue with this is, right? What's the issue with this? Well, you have to have a tone generator. E tuning drone. One more time. But in a second, let me play a jig with this, and we'll talk about how we do it without a tuning drone or a tone generator. Sneaks off to bed. Oh, good night, Lauren. Nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out. See you again next time. Tuning, indeed, Armadillidium. We are talking about tuning, intonation 101 and scales 102. Because they're a very similar topic. Just an off question, when did you last get the bow rehead? I have never had this bow rehead. I was given this bow 4 years ago when I took my violin to a service. They gave me a new bow. They also did, it cost me quite a lot of money actually, they did my fine. I have fine tuners built into the pegs. They are gear-based fine tuners in the pegs rather than fine tuners at the bridge. I feel that it lacks bite when you were tuning. That's probably my technique. My technique is very poor. I've never had a violin lesson, so I self-taught, and I'm sure there are things I'm doing wrong. But when I can afford to pay for some lessons, then I'll pay for some lessons, you know. I think it might be the slidey bow, not the bow. Well, I also rosined up. It might be a lack of rosin. It might also be a question of the microphone and how close they are and stuff. Check. This is my low treble mic, specifically for violin. This is much more trebly for voice and saxophones. And if you wanna, I should just take a shell and enjoy. Yo, that in a nutshell. That is in a nutshell. Can someone add that as a quote, please? I want that quoted. I should just take a scale and enjoy the fuck out of it sometime, for sure. Now, for example, if you want to do intonation practice, but you don't have a tuning drone that you can put in the background, you can get the same kind of joy, but you have to use open strings, right? So if we want to tune G major, if we want to work on our G major intonation, we can play the bottom half of the scale with G. But I can't wait for my neighbors to wake up so I can try this drone business. Hey, nice. I'd use PC not to go through the hassle to hook iPhone to speakers. That's a good idea. The best way you can do it is standing up in the middle of the room with the room full of the sound of the note, with it bouncing off all the walls, with your violin bouncing off all the walls as well. Because then you get, at the moment, one of the issues is that my pitch reference, if I'm playing a drone, is just in my ears, which means you don't hear it in your chest as well. Now, this is less relevant necessarily for violin than, say, trombone or saxophone, because when you're playing trombone and saxophone, the notes you're making, as well as going into the instrument, also coming back and resonating through your lungs and your chest as well. And when you feel you're in tune with your lungs, that's the thing. When you're playing a trombone, you feel your lungs are where you feel the tuning. Drone, I missed whatever the convo was above. We're talking about intonation on violin, Armadillidium. So we've got tuning drones. I'm going to do one more with a G. My first, say, 400 hours on violin, we're just sitting in the kitchen with open string drones happening, just working on my my major scales. Have you also had good times at practice room with my practice? Yeah, dude. First 400, 500 hours of violin and trombone were basically just sitting with practice drones. Sounds pretty unpleasant, right? Intonation. I have had very good times in a practice room with a practice drone. Intonation, armadillidium. How to play violin in tune. How to not. Here, I want to share my violin goals. For some, it's Paganini or Brahms. I'm here. Be careful, it starts strong. Nicu Stanescu Viau Ora. Nice. Wow. That's pretty funny. But I'm not necessarily not playing it now. But before we listen to a full thing, this is George Enescu, Hiaukalia, a Romanian song. Are you then Romanian, Colin Claudio? Because we have a question. We have a education request question. We're gonna hit the queue. I would love it if you would put that in the queue. But first of all, we're gonna hit the queue. We've got James has. Are you here, James? James Abrams Music. Are you here, James Abrams Music? And Ardell shreds there as well. James Abrams. Yeah, boy. Let's check it out. Because James has done a bit of soloing over My Father's Eyes by Eric Clapton. And we're going to have a listen. It's a next, isn't it? Sony Rough, yeah, just want your pointers. No problem, mate. No problem. Anytime. Now, again, I'm not going to comment on whether or not I like what you play or anything. I'm not going to comment on anything except your choice of scale. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You're using the C-sharp minor pentatonic scale, right? Yeah, mate. Yeah, dude. Can I post something I played on the drone too? Please go for it, Armadillidium. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nice one, James. Yeah, dude. Sounding great. Remember, like, these scales can only give a framework of sounds available to us. And you can kind of manipulate them and do whatever you want. So, like the Strat sound, I can't really say because of how low quality the recording was. It sounds lovely, but I have to think about whether I like the sound, because I can't really hear it. You gotta show me. I will comment on sound when we have sound to comment on, but that's 360p and off a phone audio. So I'm sure it sounded lovely, James. We have a next. What's our next? Yeah, dude, do it. Come and share it with us. Ardell Shred has got something in the queue. Ardell Shred, your item in the queue has come up. Are you here? Please make yourself known by the end of this sound. I don't think we got an Ardell Shred. That's fine. And this is done by Starman. You've got something in the queue for us. What are we watching, Starman? I want to keep this to education requests rather than... Yeah, this is not us listening to music now, Starman. I think this is purely education requests. So if you'd keep that for a queue for another time, that would be great. And I think the same probably applies to Hector, right? Is this music for us to listen to? Friendly Giant, beginning and ending. Ignore mine as well. Fair enough. So, my edu question. Aye, please do. We are going to continue on. I am going to talk about using scales and understanding, telling scale patterns by ear. This track was not found. Maybe it was removed. Armadillidium, it says it's track not found. Maybe it was removed. Let's try again. No. Sure. All right, so, yo. Let's do it. Intonation 101 is simple. There are different scales I can use, but where and when should the varying scales be used? When the key center changes, to be honest. So did we listen to it last night? Sorry, I refreshed. No, Starman. Remember, we only listen to people's join requests if they are here. So if you didn't hear it, then we didn't listen to it. Hope that fixed it. Sure, 1 second. This question, what is a key center? Actually, James, this will hopefully answer that question as well. The first framework, if we are soloists and improvising soloists, the first framework we need to understand is the major scale. Now, we did the major scale. We did Scales 101 last time, right? The Scales 101 is the major scale and the major scale formula. We're now going to move on to, it's kind of Scales 102, but again, it branches out. It starts getting quite fractal. As soon as we move past the fundamentals, we can go in any direction we want, really. So I'm going to take you in one direction of Scales 102, which is going to hopefully answer a lot of these questions. The first thing we need to ask, and this, James, will answer your question and Colin Claudiu's question and Armadillidium's question. Armadillidium's question is, what is a key center? James Abrams' question is, where and when should I be using different scales? And Colin Claudiu's question is, how can I hear melodies and play them back by ear? We're at a similar level on violin, but you then throw out some vocabulary that makes me really see how much music theory I still need to learn. God damn it, I should have went to music school. Well, you see, Colin Claudiu, I did, and I paid for it so that you don't have to. You can just chill here, and everything I learned at music school, I am giving away freely to people on the internet with the hope that the world will then pay me enough money to survive and pay other musicians. So don't sweat it, mate. You're here now. You found the stream. That's all you need. You don't need to go pay $20,000 for 3 years of music college. You just need to log on. Say, hey, Ed, I want to learn this. And I'll say, amazing. I love helping people learn stuff. It makes me feel good about, the time I've spent invested. And I love that clicky feeling. It's also, basically, this is my favorite game. So you guys know, and I know I say this a lot, but one of my favorite games in the world is exactly this game. You guys have 3 questions about a specific usage of an aspect of music theory. The game I'm playing is, how can I answer all of your questions at the same time in a way that you can all understand, put into practice, and that is relevant and fun. That's my objective, and that's why I love playing this game. This is my favorite of all games. Not my favorite of all games. No, that's not true. I don't want to choose a favorite game. There's a reason we're here. Ed offers free music lessons to whoever wants them. If you don't understand something which is legit, more than okay, please ask. Absolutely, because it's a language. It's a language, and sometimes if you don't understand a single word, the sentence doesn't make sense. But I'm always not just happy, but absolutely bloody delighted to go over it again. This is easy, and I don't even have to worry about whether I'm making good content or not, because I'm having fun teaching, and that's what I want to do. This is what being an actual musician means in the actual functioning music industry. Having knowledge and sharing what you love with people who want it. Not fucking selling CDs, man. So, a little quick refresher. We are talking about the C major scale. Scales 102 from a perspective of hearing and replicating melodies, as well as identifying key centers. So, Armadillidium asks, what is a key center? James Abrams asks, where and when should the varying scales be used? The answer to your question is, what note is 1? Where is the 1? Oh, are we here? That's behind my thingy. Where is the 1? Now, what does the 1 mean? Can anyone tell me? When I say 1, what do I mean? Remember, we are on Scales 101. What is 1? One can be C. Before we said that 1 was C. If 1 there, the do of the scale, very good answer. Very good answer. We're using solfege. 1 is do. James Abrams, very good answer as well. Tonic. 1 is the tonic. The 1 is the note of the major scale that specifically tension in the scale resolves to, ultimately. And in this case, if we're in the key of C major, we always, whenever we're trying to hear a song, with some exceptions, but this is pretty standard this is pretty solid in Western music, almost all the music we hear will, for a large part of it, be in at least a major key, meaning it will have harmony that relates to a major key. Now, if we're in the key of C major, the notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? So how do you know what scales to play? You find out where the 1 of the major key is and go from there. Now, this is slightly complicated by the fact that a lot of songs can be in minor keys. They will generally be in a relative minor. Unless, if a song is in minor as opposed to in Dorian, right, it will be in the 6th, the natural minor. Now, if we look at the notes in a natural minor, A, B, C, we have a 1, a 2, a flat 3. Remember, this is carrying on from Scales 101, guys. So I'm saying this, if you don't understand this terminology or you're a bit lost, don't worry. You have missed the fundamental step to make this possible. Natural minor, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, right? Because E and F are a semitone apart. Flat 6, flat 7, root. That is our natural minor scale. Let's change the key we're in. Let's go all the way back, all the way back. Say our first chord of the song is C sharp minor, right? And I'm going to answer another question. There's going to be another issue we kind of go past here. Say our first chord of the song is C sharp minor. And it's like a strong minor. The first thing we say, if it's in a minor and it's a root, we say, okay, it's probably in the natural minor. So that means this note is C sharp. Now here's where you need to know your key signatures, especially if you're playing piano or horns or whatever. If you're playing a guitar, you can just go, you like positions, you'll be like, okay, I'm just going to go to my minor shape. I'm going to start it on C sharp. Absolutely rightly, E major, because the E major scale has Father Christmas gets dressed and eats 4 sharps. They are Father Christmas gets dressed. E major is E to E with Father Christmas gets dressed. E major scale, 4 sharps. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Right? This means that E is the tonic. Are we all with me so far? We all good? So far, we've talked a bit about how we've answered the tonic question. We've talked a bit about how to find where you are, what to do once you know where you are, but we haven't talked about hearing it by ear. Now, this is where it gets a little trickier because it changes. To be able to identify where you are by ear, you have to know what the major scale sounds like. You have to be able to sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you can sing triads, 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6, 3, 5, 7. I'm actually not going to do the numbers because that's too confusing. 1 triad, 2 triad, 3 triad, 4 triad, 5 triad, 6 triad, 7 triad, 8 triad, major triad, minor triad, major triad, major triad, minor triad, diminished triad, root, upper root, right? The question we have to ask ourselves always, once we've got that sound, is where is the 1? So let's take it with let's reverse engineer some ear training. Pog diminish ma 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 do 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 do. One aspect of ear training, for example, would be I want to try and sing a major triad from the notes I play. La la la. La la la, la 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 la, 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 la la la. La la la. Well, Ed, I just got an ad. Does this mean you're being paid by Twitch? Well, I've been an affiliate for a while, so Twitch has paid me out some money. Not a great deal, and most of that I pay out to other musicians. I don't get money from ads. No, if you'll say this ad supports Twitch rather than this ad supports the stream. So. If you want to be able to identify songs, identify melodies by ear, and be able to replicate them, you need to have the sound of a major scale deeply embedded in your brain. And this is where we can start playing the number game. Now, this is actually a lesson I played today. It's a really, really good, powerful tool. Can anyone tell me what this song is? I'm going to give you a little time to check. If you want to play it on an instrument, you can. If you want to try and sing it, you can. And then I'm going to sing it for you. What the hell is that? This is writing out a melody in scale degrees rather than in notes. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. 1, 5. 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1. It's Frere Jacques, absolutely, right? Now, this is a game I often play when I'm teaching kids. This will probably be my 3rd or 4th piano lesson. It is Frere Jacques. This is the 3rd or 4th piano lesson, regardless of how old you are, right? And this is kind of showing you the opposite, Cal and Claudio. This is backwards. If you can sound it in your head, then you're already there. Then you're already half the way there. Let's try one more. Anybody? And then I will sing it for you. If you can sing it in your head and identify the song, then that is a pretty good indication that the sound of the major scale is embedded in your brain. Can I sing it? I will, Starman, but I'm giving you guys a chance to either play it on your instruments or try and sing it first. I just sound like a robot. Well, if you haven't sung major scales, then you'll have difficulty doing this. Shall I sing it for you? 5, 5, 6, 5, 8, 7. 5, 5, 6, 5, 9, 8. 5, 5, 5, 3, 1, 7, 6. 4, 4, 3, 1, 2, 1. It's happy birthday, absolutely. Couple more. I don't know how low to go for the fives. All you have to do is go an octave down. I'm just doing it in a random key, so my whole thing was off. Well, that's the thing. If once I put a pitch, then you could be wrong. But to have the sound of a major scale self-contained within your brain is very, very, very important. Because I could have made my 5 here, I could have made my 5 here, I could have made my 5 here, I could have made 5 here. 5, 5, 6, 5, 8, 7. 5, 5, 6, 5, 9, 8. This is a major scale sounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see what key I was in. I was in B major. We in the West, we are quite fortunate because we have, if you've grown up in a Western tradition, you probably know the song, Doe a deer, a female deer, Ray a drop of golden sun, me a name I call myself, far a long, long way to run, so a needle pulling thread, la a note to follow, so a drink with jam and bread, and that brings us back to do, 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 do. Which is an absolutely brilliant song to teach ear training and solfege, which is just a really, really good way of learning your pitches. Let's try one more. Let's try one you guys might have done is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is a very common choir warm-up and also an instrument exercise. But you see how this is all seeing a symbol pattern and then trying to place yourself within a key, right? And that's why I ask you to identify it before I sing it for you, because you might be singing it in a different key. Should we do one more? How about this one? 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you see, to play James, I have to first of all do my 1. I need to know where I was. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Were you trying to do Ode to Joy? 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. So what you did, James, I'm going to sing what you wrote. 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. It's close, but it's not quite right. And I had to be quite strict with myself because it started as Ode to Joy, but I saw there was a gap between the 3 and the 1. Up a bit. 3, 2, 1. 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. It's close. And this is the final one I do. 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1. 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1. 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 5. Yeah. A great one. Yeah. So how does this translate? What does this mean? What does this mean for everything? Why am I getting those clicks? I think it's when I'm tapping my undo button on here. Bizarre. Bizarre, c'est très bizarre. Je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas quoi. Je ne sais pas pourquoi il y a une petite Je ne sais pas en français. What's that? What's the sound in French? Starman, help me out. Help me out with the French. What's the sound? The word for a sound. Let's just try a couple of songs by ear. Let's try and identify what keys a couple of tunes are in. Do you guys want to choose a pop song, or should I just do random ones? Let's go. I'm yours. Let's run through a couple. It means you can play anything just by knowing the scale, irrespective of key. Absolutely. 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 And that is the core of being able to do this. So, let's find it out. Let's listen. This is Jason Mraz. So the first thing we need to decide... Well, are you done? We have to decide what we think the one is. Let's listen again. First one. Well, are you done me and I'm do. Well, you done me and you bet that I felt it. I tried to stay cool, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. So-do. Now, armadillidium. When we're talking about keys, we have to move away from solfege. Because solfege won't tell us what the notes are. We have to decide where the one is. First of all, we decide what note sounds like the one. Before we even try and figure out what the note is, we decide what the one is. And a very good place to start, especially in pop, doesn't always apply, but the first chord and the last chord. Now in this case, let's hypothesize. Let's say that first chord really sounds like it's solid. It sounds like it wants to stay there. Does it go back to it? Let's listen again. Is this our tonic? Is this the one? Let's decide. Well, are you done? Well, are you done? So not only is the first chord there, but it also, the melody goes da-da. So we say, I reckon, 1, 2, 3. I reckon that's 3, 1. And I think that's the tonic. Let's decide again. La-da. Let's see if that sounds solid. La-dum. Da-da-dee. Da-da-dee. Da-da-dum. Da-ba-dim. Da-da-dum. Do a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. Su-ba-dee-dee-da-dum. Well, you done me, and you bet that I felt it. I tried to stay chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. So we know that it doesn't just use the major chord of the tonic. It uses a couple of different chords, but it always cycles back to it. You with me now? That this is not necessarily, you can't ever be right. You can't ever think, I have to be right. You have to think, what if it's this? And see if the rest falls into place. If this is a 3, 1, then our scale la da do da do da do da do da do da is going to sound solid. Let's check. La da do da do da do. Now in my mind, I'm happy that that's the one, I think that's the one, and I just sang a couple of major scales. So notice we haven't even talked about notes. We haven't talked about what note it is. We don't need to. We don't need to worry what note it is because we know the sound of the major scale. That's in our head. That is the tonic. Let's check again. Well, are you done me? Now we can find the note. Ooh, we're looking for that note. Ooh, do you agree? Ooh, well, are we done? I would say, yes, that is the note B. Well, are we done? Da 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 do. Now, if we've got the sound of the major scale, la da 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 da. We know that first melody is a 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Well, you done me, and you bet that I felt it. 3 3 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 3. Well, you done.
Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to beat you, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my best. This and nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait.
100%. It's in the key of B major. So we can solo in this song using the B major scale. Let's have a bit of a blow. And now you'll notice I say I'm have a bit of a blow, and then I'm going to pick up my violin, because blow doesn't necessarily mean blow. Blow means just, oh, have a blow, man. Just go for it. I went and had a bit of a blow. I feel like I need to learn basic music terminology before you can start fully understanding these streams. Bible face. Well, don't worry, livers. That's why I'm here. And every time you hear a word, even if you're not sure what it means, it will deposit a bit in your brain. And then you hear it one time, and you're like, oh, that's a new word. You hear it the second time, you're like, I think I've heard that before. You hear it the third time, you're like, oh, I've definitely heard that word before. The fourth time, it's like, oh, I kind of know what that's got something to do with thingy, doesn't it? And then the fifth time, you're like, oh, that has got something to do with thingy. The sixth time, you're like, oh, I know that. Seventh time, you're like, oh, yeah, let's use that. Eighth time, you're like, yeah, obviously. And ninth time, you're like, yeah, cool. 10th time, you're like, huh? What? Yeah. Duh. Like obviously. Like, psh, easy. And then a year later, you start just listening to yourself play it. And all of a sudden, that line you've been working on happens. I expected it to go to the minor. It doesn't, though. So we're in the key of B major. What is the key signature? And this is the next step. If you don't then know, to be able to play along and hear stuff by ear, you need to stuff. I don't even know what A, B, C, D, E, F, G sound like in my head. I've never really learned music in school. Granted, I'm in 10th grade. Well, no problem, livers, because, to be honest, a lot of people never learn that and struggle endlessly. You're in 10th grade. I didn't start playing trombone until I was 29 years old, and I'm now a professional standard trombone player. So just don't sweat it, mate. You've got all the time in the world, and you can just chill. If you just chill here long enough, you'll pick it up by osmosis. You'll hear us say the words. And I love I'm always happy to redo lessons. Scales 101. So you came in for Intonation 101 and Scales 102. I'd be very, very happy to go back and do a Scales 101, but I'll probably leave it about an hour to cool off after we finish this. Hey, I've always poked around the piano. If I find new notes in a row that randomly turn out correct, I can usually work out the rest of the melody. That's how I found out what key it's on. Well, you see, Armadillidium, they don't randomly turn out correct, eh? They turn out correct because you've nailed the sequence. What I would suggest is singing. Singing is the first and last place we go to when it comes to ear training. If you can't sing a note, if you can't sing a melody, you won't be able to play it. Conversely, if you can sing a melody, you will be able to play it eventually. Thanks, I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to catch the stream because I bed really soon on weekdays. No worries, livers. I'm going to be streaming during the day. Our streaming schedule is going to be very different when I come back in October. I'm basically moving trying to move my teaching during the week to the weekend. So that means I will be streaming, and when I'm streaming games, unless I'm in a group and I have to specifically do stuff, then I'm always happy. As you see, guys, I've got WoW in the background, but I'm always super happy to do this. This is my favorite stuff. I cannot sing if my life depended on it. The sound in my head is different to the one that comes out. That's just practice, calling Claudio, and that's exactly the same thing. I'm singing. Try to be precise with your terminology. You're playing a G. You mean you're singing, right? That's something I'd get. I'll try singing next time, but I can't usually hold a correct note. That is a manifestation of the issue you guys are having. If you are not comfortable using your voice and changing pitch and listening to the sound of your voice compared to the sound of the note you're trying to sing, you will not be able to learn things by ear. It's just the end of it. If you can't sing them, you won't be able to learn them. Just hands down. Singing has to be the first place we go. Singing, yes, it's horrible. We'll do singing 101 soon. Let's try and play along this though. Now, we need the B major scale. So before I even play it, I'm going to, because B major is an absolute nightmare on violin. Has no open strings. One open string. No open strings. One open string. Only the E string is in the B major scale. Because B major has Father Christmas gets dressed and eats breakfast. 5 sharps. They are Father Christmas gets dressed and F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp in the B major scale. So I'm going to get a B tuning drone. And I'm just going to jam a bit on the B major scale. Let's check that I'm in tune. It's very important to be in tune on the violin. Otherwise your practice is all wrong. In one respect, anyway. Like, can you change the tuning of the violin so it's in B instead of in D? No. Violas aren't in C. They're not in C. Their strings are different. Can you change the tuning on the violin so it's in B instead of in D? Well, the violin is not in D anyway. I mean, not really. Armadillidium, not really. You just give people who write you music in B major a dirty look. I don't like that octave. I want it in a lower octave. That's too high. That's too annoying. I want it down. I want it down an octave. Drones. I want a B. This is a B. Which B is this? I want a B tuning. I want a B tuning drone, but I don't want that one. That's too high. That's cello drone B. Cello drone B. There we are. Beautiful. That'll do. B major. actually not finding this too helpful because it's quite low down in the register. This is a very low drone, so I'm not getting the sound of the sound waves and as strongly as I want them to be. So I'm going to go back to that other one. Is the drone set to whatever your tonic is? Yes, Armadillidium. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can do that with different notes. You can have the drone as the fifth or the drone as the third. That's more advanced ear training. But with the drone as the tonic, that's the strongest and most audible pitch reference you can have. Because a 1 and a 5, like a fifth and a fourth interval, are really strong. A third is really strong. Second and seventh start to get really weird. But you could, for example, have a pitch and say, okay, I'm going to make this the third of my scale, and I'm going to try and play the scale around that and hear how it sounds. That starts to get quite weird, though. It's very loud, I appreciate. I'm going to turn it down a bit. Stop there because I appreciate how that Code Warrior, thank you for the sub. You're a legend, Dave. Can I have a whoa? Oh gosh, that was very loud. That peaked, didn't it? Thank you. Doing drone exercises. It is a bot that replaces random words with whatever word we decide. Thank you so much, Code Warrior. Code Warrior, your boss man, #1 bitch cheerer in the channel. So as you've seen, that can be quite an abrasive sound, and you can also see why I don't spend more time doing that. Can you use a sine wave generator for this, or do you need to practice drone sound? No, this is just a sine wave. The cleaner the wave, the more, the easier it is to hear. This is just a sine wave, I think. I think this is just a sine wave, right? But what we did now for a second, like when I started, it felt really weird. But then after like a minute or two, it started feeling sticky, and that is a good indication that you're ready to play. So now my intonation felt sticky over the drone. My fingers felt like they wanted to go to the right place. They kind of felt a bit weird when it was out of tune, and they felt right when it was in tune. So now we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. Let's play a bit of violin over Jason Mraz. Let's go.
Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to beat you, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my best. This and nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours.
Oh, this is a hard scale, man. Oh, gotta go eat liver. See you later, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Well, open up your mind and see get closer, dear, and I will nibble your ear. So
Bloody hell, B major on violin is a pain in the ass.
I've been spending way too long checking my tongue in the mirror and bending over backwards just to try to see it clearer. But my breath fogged up the glass, and so I drew a new face and I laughed. I guess what I'll be saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Open up your mind and see how it is. Open up your planet, damn, you're free. I look into your heart and you'll find that the sky is yours. So please don't, please don't, please don't. There's no need here to complicate, 'cause our time is short. This is our babe. I'm yours. I wanna be a billionaire so fucking bad.
Jad plays Ed. Trevor McCoy, I want to be a billionaire so fucking bad. What a bloody awful start to a song. I want to be a billionaire. Not I want to be happy. Not I like boats. I want to be a billionaire so fucking bad. Why? What is that song, man? What a total pillock. Who listens to this? 388 million views. Well, he's not going to be a billionaire then, is he? Be a billionaire, he's going to have 3 quadrillion views. Never going to be a billionaire. Funny thing is, this is the song that made him a billionaire. You're right, Fez. So, I think that's probably a good place to stop. Are you saying you wouldn't want to have $1 billion? No. I'd want to give away $1 billion, yeah. No, having $1 billion means there's $1 billion less worth of music happening in the world. I would love to pay $1 billion to musicians for delivering community music. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we had $1 billion just to pay musicians to play music? There would literally be music on every street corner all the time. You could open your door, walk for 5 minutes, and see a killing jazz band. That would be worth more than money. Hey, Code Warrior. We're doing music education while playing WoW. We're going to go back to WoW now. Hands are a bit sweaty, actually. That's the violin. No, I wouldn't want $1 billion. I want to be happy. I want to be happy playing music with people, for people.